Morning everyone, it's Jan, Not a Real Farm. So, beautiful morning out, perfect, cloudy. I'm ready to rock in terms of harvesting, but I thought I'd share a little story with you. So, for those of you that have been with me for a really long time on the channel, you know that my wood pile is there and we're going to be removing that shortly. And so the idea is this area that you've been seeing my husband dig out for a really long time and try to fix, we're looking at putting fruit trees and things in this area. So we've been adding fresh new dirt. We've been seeding some areas down here, really just trying to prep the area to make it look nicer. Well, this area here, for whatever reason, people decided that they felt that they could just drive over it and drive over it and drive over it. No matter how much my husband was grading, leveling everything, people would drive over this area. Look at all of the spots on here. So we decided to take some of these logs and outline the driveway to indicate, hey, this area is off limits. Well, the Amazon guys tried to drive in my driveway, and instead of actually coming up my driveway, they tried to drive over the logs. And as a result, they took off their bumper. So, yeah, I just wanted to share that story with you. That was something very funny that happened this week. I don't understand what it is. We have everything sort of, outlined and blocked off right to the end. And for whatever reason, they still felt like they could drive over it and lost their bumper because of it. I just don't understand. Anyway, let's get to harvesting. Now, coming in this morning, I'm actually looking for some tomatoes. Everything is now going to seed. Marigolds never stop. They look really great in your garden though, but they do reseed themselves, so they constantly come back. Here's my hibiscus. So we've had several flowers. I'm about to deadhead like this, just because for whatever reason the bugs really like these. When you leave the leaves like this, the flowers, the bugs like them. But aren't they beautiful? I love those. This is my first year actually growing a hibiscus. Really not disappointed. Okay, let's see what we got in here. Blackberries. Coming back to the tomatoes. Now I'm looking for a specific tomato. First of all, I'm going to harvest some of my hybrids. So the hybrids are coming along rather nicely. So these are the celebrity hybrids. I'm going to take this guy. Everything is ripening here, and we're going to take this guy here. It's sauce making time, so going around now trying to figure out which ones that I want to throw in a pot to make tomato paste. Oh, yep, we can take this guy. What I'm finding is if I leave the tomatoes on too long this year, for whatever reason, they're just, I think it's a humidity thing, they're just rotting out. So we're just going to take them while we can. Oh, nice ones. My husband had a Sartre Rollo S tomato this morning. It was his first one. And he thought it tasted fruity and sort of a lot more light than a regular tomato, and he really enjoyed it, so that was good. So these are, like I said, these are the celebrity hybrids, and now we are going to go on through and see what other tomatoes that we have. One of the more interesting tomatoes that I'm growing this year, I was trying to sort of let them ripen a little bit more to show you. These are my black paste tomatoes, so they're now starting to turn color. And eventually what will happen is if you leave them on the stem long enough, the shoulders go black. There's some way in the back here. They're not quite ready. I like to see them have those nice black shoulders. You can see this one is already starting to get kind of black at the top. They're very pretty, and there's really no... They're really, really thick. There's no juice with them, so you can't really do much except make sauce with them. There's some down in here and some up in there too. So Those ones will be ready soon. One of my girlfriends actually has a plant that looks like this. And before I saw the peppers, I automatically assumed it was a fish pepper, and it wasn't. Her peppers are actually a sweet pepper called a candy cane. And they have the same sort of type of foliage on it, which I thought was kind of cool. So we're going to swap peppers and see which ones we like the best. Yep, we've got some. Oh, we've got a couple back here. We'll take these ones. Might as well. Season's changing. Everything's slowing down. One's still a little green, so we'll leave him behind. And what did do amazing is our healthy peppers. So take a look. They've started to turn red. So I can pick this one. Let's take them off. So you see, you can tell the difference in the nighttime temperatures because your peppers will start to crack. Single-digit temperatures overnight is actually a shock. It's a little bit early this year. Now these are being saved for salsa. Got a really great recipe for salsa I want to try. Yeah, we'll pick this guy too. So not bad. 4 of these guys for salsa. Over here we have our silvery fir. It's also referred to as Angora tomato. So this is a determinate tomato. So as you can see, I'm getting all the tomatoes at once, which is perfect since I am looking to do tomato sauce. So we are going to pick all of these. The noise in the background you're hearing is I'm getting my dirt refreshed today because with the temperature changing, I want to try and refresh a lot of the garden soil so that we can now start planting our garlic and get that ready hopefully soon, and then basically have our stuff ready for spring. Check that out. This is a lot of tomatoes. Might have to get a Walmart bag to carry all of this stuff up. It's so funny. I'll remember the Walmart bag when I want to harvest, but do you think I'll remember that Walmart bag, those cloth bags, when I want to actually go grocery shopping? No. Let's see. Ooh, these are nice. Now, we could leave these guys because they got a little bit of green shoulders, but that's okay. We'll take them and let them sit out on the counter a little bit. So there's all the tomatoes that I harvested from that one today. Awesome. And the other thing we're going to be adding to our salsa and our sauces this year is, remember I said I have a jalapeno that has no heat. So take a look at all of the jalapenos that I have, and you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference. Look at the size of these jalapenos. Now, like I said, you can eat these, no heat, which is perfect. I like a little heat in my salsa. Sometimes my husband doesn't, so we usually try to make 2 different batches of salsa because I like mine spicy. Check that out. Okay, let's keep picking. Oh my goodness, these are awesome. I would grow these again. These are called a Notapino. Now, if we end up having enough seeds out of these, which I think we might, we'll try to put a little bit of limited amount up in the store because I only grew 3 plants of these this year. Let's see. Ooh. There we go. Check out those ones. And it's actually still producing, so that's okay. These plants are probably about 4 feet tall if I hold them up straight, so it is something where you might actually need something to brace them on. Let's see here. Nice. So this one was a new grow for us this year, and I'm actually really surprised at how many jalapenos that this actually makes. that out. Oh yeah, I'm really happy with that. I would definitely grow this plant again. I still got 2 more here. That. All right, I think I've picked my fair share of jalapenos for the salsa. I think it's time to move on. Check it out, guys. I just planted these raspberry bushes this year, and we're actually able to pick raspberries. Look at that. The raspberries have been fantastic. They're super sweet this year. Don't know what it is, but I am really happy that we were able to get some raspberries out of this. So next year, I'm thinking all of these raspberry plants are probably going to take over this bed, which is okay. And we will be making raspberry jam. Kind of excited about that. The other cool thing that we grew this year, way in the back here, past the raspberries, is grape tomatoes. Do you see those? Nice big grape tomatoes. I'm gonna go pick some so I can show you how big they are. So if we come on the other side of my fencing here, we're just passing my beautiful blueberry cherries. Aren't those awesome? And then the grape tomatoes are right here. Now, I don't know about you, but I like a really nice grape tomato for my salad. And these have turned out awesome. Look at that. Now, you know when you go into the store, the grocery store, how much they charge for grape tomatoes. So we have all kinds of grape tomatoes and enough, most likely, to share the seeds. This is a Roma grape tomato, if that makes sense. So kind of looks like a Roma, but tastes like a grape tomato. Awesome. So we'll definitely be putting a lot of this seed up in the store because there's only so many grape tomatoes I can eat. Amazing. Look at the colors of my trees. I don't know if anybody else has this, but my trees are changing into that fall yellow now. And so is the garden. So I'm going to start filling up my Walmart bags with all the produce that I can pull in before the frost hits, so that we can make sure that we've got our groceries or our food for the winter. My Swiss chard has popped up, which is nice. And the odd thing about it is I've got more cucumbers growing. Usually cucumbers are really fussy, but not this year. So I'm back today actually pulling our second bed of purple potatoes because we are going to freeze dry the potatoes rather than can them this year. They come out just as good. If you take a look, you can see they've already started to pull up just with that little yank of the root. So now in this one, now that we're pulling the potatoes, you can see that the flax flowers are all starting to fall off. And now we're getting flax pods. Hopefully I can try to back out here so you can see. So now we'll wait for these to dry. As soon as it gets cold, they'll dry right up and you're able to actually harvest your flax seed. Take a look at all the purple potatoes that we've got. I'm about to get poured on. Nice. And we always want to get rid of these guys out of the garden. They're mean, they're nasty, and they will kill your garden the first chance they get. Now our melon vine is actually starting to die down, so you can see here now we're able to actually physically pick out the melons. And they're not quite ready. What I'm looking for when I look at melons is I'm looking for the top of this to be brown for the stem, and I'm also looking for the webbing to turn a little bit brown. So you can see here the webbing is turning a little bit brown, but I don't quite have the brown of the stem, so that's what I'm waiting for. But these are amazing. Look at the size of these. And then we have another one down there. We have 4 of them. We kind of lucked out this year. Our corn also is beginning to tassel, which is good. I I've seen people where they take the tassel off and they sort of pollinate. Normally what I do is I just give it a little tap. And there's a lot of pollen that blows off of there, but you can't see it, sorry. And then, how tall this is, I've got to put my arm all the way up. There's the tassels. I simply give it a little shake, and you can see that all that pollen falls off. So if you want to do something like that, you can. If you're okay with getting pollen on you, makes it easy, and you know they're pollinated. I just had to share this potato with you guys. Check it out. Look at this purple potato. I actually really didn't think they were going to get that big, but hey, that's amazing. All right, so at the end of this morning's harvest, and I really can only hit so many places just because I'm seeing lightning in the sky right now, so that'll cut our harvesting a little bit short, but we have pretty much a full bag, almost a full bag of purple potatoes. Look at the size of those whoppers. And then we ended up with a nice half basket of tomatoes, peppers, or healthy peppers, and we ended up with a whole cup of Mateki garlic. So the Mateki garlic, the bigger cloves, I'll most likely plant so that we can actually grow more of this next year. It's one of the best garlics I think I've ever grown and really reliable, especially in a cooler climate. But then the rest of that we're going to be adding to our salsa. So we also have our jalapenos as well that we picked. So not a bad start for salsa season. The potatoes, like I said, I'm probably going to freeze dry just so we can speed up the process of saving food. See you soon.